Hi, this is Janek Stadtlander. This is a video that I did in 2004 for my great-grandmother. It was her 100th birthday the following month, and I wanted to take a moment and try and get her life story as much as I could on video. She has her moments where she pauses, and you kind of have to wait for a moment while she puts her thoughts together, and you'll hear my Uncle George, who is her son, interjecting here and there, but it was a very interesting interview and got a lot of useful information, so I hope you enjoy it. And again, this is raw footage. I didn't really do much editing on it, so what you see is pretty much from start to finish, so enjoy.
Going into Ravenna from the farm was a maybe a once a month deal. Going into Manaway was usually a weekly deal to pick up $5–10 worth of groceries. Keep in mind that was 1950s and 60s money, and we canned everything, every vegetable you can imagine. We'd fix enough to last all winter. Anyway, when I grew up here was farms, gravel pits, and turning into a trucking and motorcycle community. That's Lucius Converse's old house, Philly Carlton's grandpa, one of the pioneers of the era. The Flower Farm, right here. Flower was her last name. Here. Man, I used to walk this every two times a week when I had wrestling practice. Wow. And here we come to Frost Road. Wow, amazing changes.
Hold on, stop. I have good weights. Yeah.
Password up there for carvers.
You don't drive anymore? Okay.
That's about it.
Because the trees. There were a lot more trees behind here.
Yeah, there was a 7-acre field back there full of trees.
Yep.
Well, this picture shows there are trees there.
That's a later picture. This is the latest picture here. Here is our.
That's the latest picture.
That's our mill shed up here.
That's nice.
That's the mill shed. There's the mill shed over there. Over here, it's not in here. There's a one down here, and there's another one up here. They call that tramp art.
I guess first let's just talk about what you can remember of your earliest years. How far back can you remember to your
Oh,
youngest?
Lord. I moved here in 1937.
To Frost Road? Where did you live before that?
Where did I live before that?
Mm-hmm.
In Cleveland. On
Soder Avenue. Soder Avenue.
I can't hear you.
Zoder Avenue in
Zoder
Cleveland.
Avenue, yeah.
And you were born at your mom's house?
In my mother's house, yes.
Wow.
That was on 33rd Street in Cleveland.
On 33rd Street, yeah. 1557 was my address there. I was born there.
And you had a twin sister?
Do I have what?
You had a twin sister?
I had a twin sister, yes.
Talk loud. She's
Okay,
kinda hard
that's
of
fine.
hearing.
Yeah. What did you, what was her name? Your sister's name?
My sister's name, Hildegard.
Hildegard.
Hildegard. Janek. Janek was my name. And her wedding was what's Hilda's name? Gavitt.
Oh,
Her name was Gavitt. Hildegard Janek Gavitt.
Yeah.
She married somebody from Saginaw, Michigan.
Wow.
did you guys play games when you were little, or
Did I what?
play games when you were little? What did you do when you were a child? Did you,
Oh,
is there anything you
well,
enjoyed
that's
doing?
a long time ago. Yeah.
Different era.
My father had the bakery, and we went to school down at 17th and Superior to St. Joseph's Church School. We went to school. We went to kindergarten, and we left there, and then we moved to Saginaw, Michigan.
And why did you move to Saginaw?
We went with my dad out to the farm. My mother's relatives were all lived in Saginaw. And we moved there, and we stayed there for 3 years. And my dad got tired of it, and that's where I met my husband, in Saginaw, Michigan,
How did you meet him?
at a dance hall.
Oh.
I danced. I loved to dance. And when we moved back to, he stayed in Michigan,
Uh-huh.
and we came back to Ohio, and a month after that he came down and we got married. We got married the 7th of July, I forget. I forget when we got married.
1923 or 4.
Was it a big wedding, or?
No, I didn't have a wedding. He says, "Come on, let's go."
Wow. Well, you guys, when you moved out here, George, you were what, 13?
12, 13.
12?
Yeah.
What?
Say, when you moved out to the farm, Joe and George were about 13, 12 years
Yeah.
old.
Oh.
12, 13.
Yeah.
No, 14. 14.
13.
It was 13, 14 years old.
How old
Yeah,
were you at the time?
that's how old I was when I moved out to the farm in Saginaw.
Oh, in Saginaw.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I was 14. And then we moved back 3 years after that. It was 17, 18. I was 18 years old when I got married. 19 when you came along.
That was in 1924. I was born in 1924.
1944.
1924.
24.
8/4/24. I have pictures of my dad hauling cabbage to the Heinz sauerkraut
Yeah.
factory in Saginaw from Bridgeport with a team of horses. He had 4 tons of cabbage on the wagon and was hauling them to the Heinz sauerkraut factory.
I don't know if I got any more or
I got
not.
one picture of him, but
Yeah.
it faded kind of dark.
Huh.
You know, those early photographs weren't
Yeah.
so good.
What did your husband do for a living?
He was a
Machinist.
expert grinder.
Machinist.
He worked for who?
Ohio Crankshaft.
Ohio Crankshaft.
He was getting 90 cents an hour, and he asked for a 10-cent raise, so he quit. They wouldn't give it to him, so he come out here.
And we
Went to
came
work
out
in
here
Kent.
and he worked for who?
Boggler machine.
Yeah,
And that's why you moved here to Frostco.
that's how I
Yeah.
work here, yeah.
Okay. And
That was after we moved out here.
Where were you living when you had Joseph and Uncle George?
When
You were living in Cleveland?
we were living here when Joe left.
No, when you moved out here. Wait a minute. I'm sorry. When your children were born, where did you live? In Cleveland?
Cleveland.
Yeah.
Didn't I live in Cleveland when you were born?
Yes. I don't remember.
I don't remember. You don't remember that?
No, I don't.
That's funny.
So, back before you moved to Frost Road.
That was down on Zoder. You were born
I was born on Zoder?
on Zoder.
I don't remember. I don't know. I know that we lived on Zoder for quite a while
Yeah,
until we moved out here.
yeah. That's when we moved out here. We lived on Zoder.
Yeah,
Yeah.
her microphone is the only microphone, but you're talking loud enough that she picked it
Yeah.
up. So
I'm
Do I-
talking loud enough so she can hear.
I know. Now, what was life like before you moved to Frost Road? I mean, did you have a car or?
No, we had one car, and that's all. He went to work with it every day for how many years? I can't remember.
1936, and then he bought when we moved out here, he had a 1940 Chevy.
Yeah,
It would freeze out, and we didn't have no nice driveways or nothing. One morning, he went to go to work, and the retread tires, he backed up, and
yeah,
the tread come off.
Oh shit!
yeah.
I mean, that's no
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
I mean, we
There
were
was-
piss poor when we moved out.
There
We
wasn't
didn't
a
have
tree-
pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of.
There wasn't
I mean
a,
it.
Oh, I believe it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
wasn't a tree out here.
No, there was no trees around here. What the hell? Yeah.
This was the only house on the farm then too, wasn't it?
This was the only house on the road.
That's true,
There was
except
no
for
houses
That-
around there.
The
Freddie
kitchen,
Drew's?
the
Freddie
kitchen,
Drew's up there,
kitchen
that
was
was
built
it.
on.
Yeah.
You added the kitchen later.
The kitchen was built
Yeah,
on.
your
yeah.
dad made the kitchen.
Yeah.
Joe put the kitchen after they moved in the back house. They built the back house. Joe built the back house there,
Yes.
and Joe and Barbara and Pete and Laura lived there until Pete and Laura got to be about 10, 12 years old. So they decided they wanted to move over here, and Mom and Dad moved back there.
Yeah.
Then after they moved over here, they decided they needed a kitchen, so they built the kitchen on out there.
Oh, okay.
See? And then after that, shortly after, they left.
There was no stairs to the front. Nothing. There was a
nothing, yeah.
piece of one
Some,
stone there.
yeah, that was it.
That was
yeah.
your entrance.
Yeah.
How did Grandpa find the farm here?
How did we
don't
happened to
know.
find the farm?
He bought it from Earl Miser out in Manaway, huh, Ma?
Oh.
Minnie Parker.
No, well,
Minnie Parker owned it.
he got the ad. He was sent out from a real estate guy,
Yeah.
and then Minnie Parker took over
She owned it.
they took
Yeah.
over the real estate.
Yeah.
is that Earl Miser that used to live beside
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Earl
that-
Miser that used to.
That was not Earl Miser. What's his name? Earl Miser's brother that worked for
Oh, that was
Hamel.
Hal Miser.
Hallam.
Yeah, he was so stingy he'd pinch a penny and make Lincoln scream.
Oh yeah, yeah. He was tighter than the bull's ass. Yeah,
Yep, yep,
yeah.
yeah. I remember
But
Hal, I don't
anyway,
remember Earl.
anyway, those were good days. Those were good days. That was good. Yeah.
I had a hard life. That's all I
You're
can
damn
say.
right
I
she
worked
did.
hard.
She worked hard around here, cleaning the brush off and helping me. She worked awful
There
hard.
there was brush from here to the back.
Yeah, and it's starting to get brush again. Yeah.
Can you tell me about your mom and your dad? What they were like, what they did for a living?
My dad was a baker. He had a bakery shop of his own, baked just bread.
My Uncle Joe delivered it with the horse and
And
wagon.
yeah, delivered them with a horse and wagon.
Joe Janek, your Uncle Joe Janek?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it happened
Yeah.
that his trade was in beer joints, and that's where he learned to drink. And then my father couldn't take it very long, and he sold his bakery shop. He had invested his money in real estate homes.
Yeah, he had
He had,
3-4 houses down there, didn't he?
and he thought he would live on that. It was too much for him. Then we moved out to the farm. That's where I met my husband. He stayed out there for 3 years, and it was too much, and he came back.
That was a hard way of life back then before the equipment is what
Yeah.
it is today.
Horses.
Yep.
Everything was done with horses. We had a team of horses here for, I don't know if you remember it, but
I remember, I have a picture of you and Joe with a team right outside what would be right here when you must have been 15 years
were
old.
they sorrels or whites? Grays.
The Grays.
Grays were, after that we had a team of sorrels.
We paid $2,800 for the 30
Yeah.
acres.
Yeah.
Wow.
$2,800 for the 30 acres and with the barn and the house. Of course, it wasn't much. you know.
Yeah.
The roofs leaked. Oh shit, it was a mess.
Oh.
Yeah,
Then when did you add the other 40 acres?
30 acres.
It
This
was
40.
Oh, this
39.
was original was 40?
I was not. Brother and I were in the army.
Yeah.
And Dad wrote a letter and said Fred Bard wants to sell his property, and that's all we had. Each of us had $900, so we offered Fred Bard $1,800, all of our money, when we were in the army.
That joined this.
Sight unseen, next door here, we bought 30 acres for $1,800. Now it's worth $20,000 an acre.
Yep,
Yeah, that's no shit.
yep. Well, they don't make land anymore.
They don't
No,
make
they quit
land,
it,
no,
yeah, they
not
quit
that
making
cheap.
Excuse me.
But now, you pay $50,000 for a Suburban.
Yeah, that ridiculous.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
My first house in Canal Fulton, when he was a little squirt, was $33,000.
Yeah,
New
Yeah.
house on
Yeah.
2.5 acres.
yeah, yeah.
And now you can't buy a car for that.
No, that's crazy. Yeah,
You have a
was your-
sister living? How many children does she have?
She doesn't have any.
No children?
No, she's not married.
She's not married? Never got married?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Oh.
She's-
We think that's coming.
Yeah, she's dating a guy right now that they've been with. They've been together for four years.
Yep.
That's all you have is just one sister.
I have a sister and I have one brother.
Oh, you have a
Younger
brother,
brother, yeah.
younger?
He just got married.
How old?
He's
26.
20. Is he 26?
26.
26. Yeah.
how old are you?
I'm 30.
30.
You're 30.
Jesus Christ, how time goes by.
I know.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I've been married for almost a year. And
You're married?
First marriage,
Second marriage, actually.
second marriage.
Oh.
We all go through that.
Yeah, the first marriage lasted about 3 months.
It
Oh.
lasted 3 weeks. We
Yeah.
were all telling you not to get married
I
to
know.
her.
I know.
You
Yeah.
didn't listen. But,
Yeah.
This
Yeah,
one
it-
I've been with her for about 5 years, and we dated for about 4 years, and then we've been married for about a year.
nice lady. High school math
Oh,
teacher.
actually.
Speaks 5 languages fluently. So, but she teaches high school.
These are for you, so
She can keep those?
she can keep those, yep. It's a picture of me, and Anna is her name.
Anna is her
Yes.
name.
Well, anybody with the name of Anna
I
is
know.
a good squirt.
She has,
Exactly.
she has beautiful hair.
She is. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
She's Portuguese. She's from Portugal. So. That one where we're inside a gazebo is where we got married.
Uh-huh.
So obviously not our wedding day, but you know,
Yeah.
it's- yeah. So
Is that a nice looking woman?
she is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're living where?
Boston. Well, just north of Boston, about
Oh.
10 miles north of Boston.
Baltimore?
Boston.
Boston.
Yes.
Oh, you're living in a
Who
big
do I
town,
know
huh?
Goes
Oh,
up
yeah.
to Boston. Oh. Oh.
Huh?
Cooper. Cooper. Sam Cooper goes up to Boston. He's a woodcarver.
Oh,
Oh,
And he's
okay.
got some relatives up there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this one back here, Diane, lives in New Jersey.
yeah, she's from New Jersey.
Oh.
I'll be darned. Wow.
I don't know.
She was just home a week ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. She has two children.
I'll just leave these here for a minute.
That's fine, yeah.
Okay.
So, when you were a child, did you have a lot of friends?
No, we had quite a few. We used to walk quite a ways to school, and we used to walk at noon. We didn't have a lunch at the school. We walked home for lunch. And so we gathered a lot of friends from school,
Walking together.
walking back and forth, yeah.
Was it a big school or just a small little school?
Well, I can't say how big it was. It was very small, I think. I couldn't tell you how big the school was. At that time, oh no. From how old when 1904, how old was I when I went to school? I was 14 when I left school there. I went to school to St. Peter's School from the first grade till the 8th grade. That's all the schooling I had.
So that would have been from like 1909
Yeah.
until, what, 19... I can't do the math.
What's your wife's name?
What's that?
What's your wife's
14.
name? Anna.
Anna, A, but there's only one N. It's A-N-A.
Oh. I'm just putting this down.
That's fine.
Because my wife went through a bunch of photographs here a while ago, and there was no dates or names, and who's this and who's that. Christ only knows. I
Yeah,
don't.
the first picture, hold up one of the pictures there. Let me just see where. That one is in Las Vegas.
Oh, well.
And
Yeah, but you're from Boston.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, that's
All right, I didn't know if you wanted the details.
That's okay.
Did you have any pets when you were little?
Oh yeah, we always had a dog and cats. When we had the barn, we had to milk a cow. We had milk for the cats, and they always stayed in the barn. I never had a cat in the house.
Or the dog either.
They were all outdoor
the-
animals.
We had
a
cow
dog house
that
outside.
slept outside in a blizzard. He'd sleep outside. He'd curl up. I'd shake the milk bucket, and he'd go up to the barn with me. And this time of the year, if they were on the pasture, he'd go back and get the cows and put them right in their stanchions. That dog was a
That's
smart
great.
dog, a border
Yeah.
collie. Yeah, good collie dog.
Pat?
Can't have
Or another
him.
dog?
Was that Pat, the black?
Yeah.
My husband used to like to hunt. He had 3 guns.
Yeah.
Somebody stole one too.
Joe took
Really?
Joe took the shotgun, And I had the 35
They
Remington down
stole
at my
them from
house.
his house.
I hadn't been on a vacation in 7
He
years.
was robbed one time.
I went down to Florida, was gonna teach the kids how to swim, and some son of a bitch broke in my house, got my 22 250 rifle, and Dad's 35 Remington, and a 38 police revolver. Stole it out of my house.
man.
I'd kill that
terrible.
son of a bitch if I know, I think I know who it was, but.
You know, you can't tell who did it if
Yeah.
you didn't see him. We,
Yeah, well.
The
that's-
shotgun I have.
You have that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a collector's item.
Yes, very much so. And I still have 8 boxes of shells
Yeah,
that fit it. The old rolled crimp,
yeah, yeah.
16 gauge.
Yeah,
Bought from Weber's Hardware.
yeah, those are good.
You know, you got to have a gun safe with guns anymore. There's so many thieves out
Oh,
there.
yeah, yeah.
I don't go anywhere without having them locked up or carrying them with me.
Where were your parents from? Where did they grow up? Was it in the Ohio area?
who?
Your
My,
parents?
my husband,
Your-
where was he from?
Your mother and your father?
My mother, oh, I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
Wasn't she
I
from
know.
the old country?
In the old country, yeah, but I couldn't. Austria,
Oh, Austria. Okay.
Hungary. You know what? My grandfather used to write to German, and to the rest of the relatives. I remember that as a kid, but I never was interested in it. They lived in Austria-Hungary is all I know. Yeah.
And let's see what else.
They didn't talk Austrian. We would talk German.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
My mother and dad both. My dad had another language he used to talk. He could talk to his, if he had some customer different, then they'd get to talking, but I don't know what it was.
Were you closer to your mother or your father, do you think?
No, I love both my parents. In them days, there was no such a thing as you love your mother or father. That's, yeah.
Just
You love both.
both of them the
Yep.
same.
That's,
Yeah.
yeah. In them days, you loved both. You never were taught, do you love your mother better than your father?
Did you know your grandparents at all?
Yes.
Rice, wasn't it? I remember Grandpa Rice
Rice,
Yeah. and Grandma. She was crippled up with arthritis.
Yeah, oh yeah,
She laid upstairs in the bedroom.
yeah.
Finally, they took her up to Saginaw for some reason.
Yeah. They were good people. He was a
Tinsmith.
tinsmith, yeah. He used to go and work on the priests, what do you call it,
The organs or the...
used to go up and build, and way up on the top of
Oh,
the
the
church.
steeples. Oh, the steeples.
Yeah,
I
and do work for them.
Huh.
Remember that. They talked about it after they came here. He didn't do any of that in Cleveland. After he came here, he got a job, I don't know where. He was a tinsmith. They lived on Kinsman in Cleveland.
Nobody wants to live in Kinsman and Cleveland now.
No. That was,
Real dark.
we used to get on the street, every Sunday we'd go to church and we'd get on the bus and get on the streetcar, and the streetcar would take us up 55th Street, and then they took 55th across the town from Cleveland, from Superior, clean over to Kinsman. We remember that. That was a treat for us. Every Sunday we went to see Grandma.
Remember when we used to make the cider? Do you still make cider?
No.
Yeah, we used to make cider.
Oh, yeah. Used to haul it out to Manaway. Yeah. And,
We had it out in a barrel.
yeah.
We'd get the cider made and leave it out in the barrel.
Yeah, and then it would kind of congeal and then turn it into apple butter, and then she'd make apple butter sandwiches out of that hard cider and send us to school with that on the thing, and we got drunk on that. Yeah. I used to make a lot of wine too. I would go up to Presque Isle, Maine, and get about 10, 15 different vinifera grapes. I used to make about 150 gallons of wine
Wow.
every year, and I still got some from 1971. It's still bottled up. It's still good, and it's good. I don't drink wine anymore. I drink whiskey. And I don't drink unless I'm alone or with somebody. You know.
So pretty much any time is open game.
Well, no. If I get enough, I quit.
Alone or with somebody.
Do you remember the Depression at all? The Great
what?
Depression?
Damn right she does.
The what?
The Depression.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What was
Yeah.
that like?
She
Yeah.
worked down at the Terminal Tower.
I worked at the Terminal Tower, yeah.
For how much a week did you get, Ma?
$18.
$18 a week she worked for.
What's the Terminal Tower?
You don't know the Terminal Tower in
In
Cleveland?
Cleveland?
Oh, at the airport.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Right
No.
downtown. That's right on the...
Right
Right on Public
downtown,
Square.
right?
I don't think he does know it.
No.
Because it's a tall skyscraper, and they call it the Terminal Tower because all the trains used to terminate at the tower.
Oh.
It was a
All the
huge
trains-
train station.
Yeah.
for
All the,
Erie,
used to be a
Lackawanna.
train station, yeah. And the train, and the fellows used to come up and eat their dinner in the cafeteria there. Yeah.
You take the train back and forth from Manaway each day?
No.
or-
No, no,
You
no,
lived
no.
down-
Oh, that's right. You lived
No,
down there.
I
there.
I quit there. I worked there for how many years?
I don't know.
1930 till 37. That was it. 1929. 29 it was that they built that.
She started at $9 a week, and they cut her down to... No, it was $18 a week, and then they cut her down to $9 a week,
Yeah.
wasn't it, Ma? You said
No,
I forget.
How long? What did you do there?
Wait.
I worked in the
Waitress.
cafeteria.
What was
Just-
life like at home?
I had the coffee to take care of.
Oh, okay.
Coffee, and I was the last one on the lunches as they went through with their lunches.
Oh. What was life like at home during the Depression? Was it harder to
No,
get food or?
no,
Dad was out of work.
yeah,
He comes down here from Saginaw, Michigan for a job at Ohio Crankshop.
yeah, we left,
My
yeah,
Uncle Joe moved us down.
yeah,
And he had the job. They told him to come to work on Monday. He went down on Monday to go to work, and they laid him off. He didn't have no job. And he didn't have no job for quite a few years, and then they hired him back, right, Ma?
Yeah.
Yeah, Ohio crankshaft. And then when we moved out here, he wanted it, he was getting 90 cents an hour. And he asked for a 10-cent raise, and they said,
Yeah.
well, you can't ask for no raise, you just bought the farm. He said, piss on you, and he left. I come home from school, and his toolbox was sitting there. He called up Goggler Machine and got $1.35 an hour for finished grinding out there. Yeah.
Wow.
And then he worked for, then he got TB and was in the hospital, wasn't he, Ma, for a year?
Yeah.
Then he got out of there, and then he got a job down working for Master Pneumatic Tool Company, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He was getting $1.65 an hour there. And then I got out of college. I got out of the Army and went to college. I needed a job, and so he got me down there on the finish. He was going to quit because the guy was screwing up his machine every night. So he says, they sent me down there. And I worked on that Cincinnati grinder for a couple years. And the boss come out. I had been through college at that time. Then the boss come out.
Oh, there were hard days.
Yeah,
There were hard days.
What the hell
Yeah.
are you doing standing here? You got a college education.
We didn't have ice cream every day.
Oh no, no. Once a
We
week,
sold the cream to somebody else.
we went in the Manaway once a week, huh?
Yeah.
Dad would give her $5.
Yeah.
That was a week's groceries. $5
Wow.
for a week's groceries.
For the butter.
And my brother and I had if we had 50 cents or $1 to our name, we were awful lucky. My dad
Yeah.
always let us keep our money, what we earned,
Oh, that's good.
and we'd go in and get a pint of ice cream and a spoon, and eat a pint of ice cream and a spoon. Yeah. And then we'd always order another pint. Yeah. That was out in Manaway.
Yeah, those were the Depression days.
Yeah. The old man would go down in the Mary and Andy's beer joint, right?
Yep.
While you got the groceries, he'd go to Mary and Andy's beer
It
joint.
used to belong to Pfeiffer's.
Yeah, when we first went out, it was
Yeah.
Pfeiffer's. Then Mary and Andy bought that beer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember Mary and Andy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, now it is known as the, I forget, it's a good place now. It's a real nice meal.
Is that still a beer joint, George?
Yeah, it's still a beer joint, but it's not as a beer joint. It's more as a restaurant now.
They serve meals now.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
It's a good place. It's a very good place. It's not just a beer joint.
No, I don't get out anymore, and I just forget.
It was a beer joint when old Mayhew had the feed mill down there.
Since
In
George.
the elevator.
Yeah.
All the farmers would bring their grain and stuff in for the elevator and sell it. Old Mayhew then would sell it, see. He was one of the few. There was 2 millionaires in Portage County at that time. Loomis in Ravenna and R.G. Mayhew in Manaway. Yeah.
Mayhew got his money by foreclosing on farms, didn't he?
No, Mayhew really got his money from playing the stock market.
Really?
Not the stock market, the exchange, the grain exchange.
Oh, commodities.
Commodity market, yeah. That's where he made his money. He bought and sold grain. He bought all the grain around here and sold it, and then he would play the grain market.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where he got his money. Yeah, he was a pretty shrewd old fart, yeah. Yeah.
Boy, that's a whole different era.
But
I mean,
nowadays, you don't do that nowadays like that.
no.
No. Play the stock market and you'll get screwed.
Yeah.
Now they wanna, what do they wanna do? They wanna take your Social Security.
I used to crochet in little things like that, and
Yeah.
I made this.
Yeah, that you made this. Yeah.
And this is very old.
You
But-
made that
Yeah,
down in Cleveland.
down in Cleveland.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember that.
George worked nights, and I didn't know what to do with myself, so I crocheted.
We didn't have no television.
Yeah, and then we got out here, and I forgot all about it.
I just, when I was a kid, was when television, was when you got television on the farm.
Just started.
Yeah, in the mid-50s, late
Yeah,
50s,
yeah.
actually.
While we were in the Army, it started after we got out of the Army.
Yep.
1945, 46 was the first of it. Yeah.
You're home away from home quite a while, huh?
Me? No.
He's home quite a bit.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I try and get back to see Dad at least several times a year. It's
Yeah.
hard when you live 800 miles away, so.
Yeah.
I'm a pilot now, so as well, I fly planes, and I flew out to see Dad last October.
You know, the best place is the Akron-Kenton Airport.
I'd like to fly in there sometime.
They've been advertising that, you know, you got all that hustle bustle out there in Cleveland.
Oh yeah.
Go down to Canton, Akron-Kenton, you can get on Interstate 70, it goes right by there.
That's actually right where I flew into
Well,
today.
he flew into Akron-Canton today.
Yeah.
On a commercial airline.
That's the best place.
Yeah.
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 How long did you stay at home?
I lived there until
Till I kicked you out.
I think it was about 19.
You kicked him
I
out.
kicked him out. He
Yeah.
was 18.
19?
And I think you were 20.
I stayed in the Ohio area though until I was about 22, and then I moved out to Maine.
Maine?
Yeah.
Oh, you got around.
Then
I was stationed in Bangor, Maine.
Oh, were you?
Oh, yeah.
That's a nice area. I lived in Bangor for about 6 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Penobscot River runs
Oh, yeah.
through there.
Yep.
And I went with a girl by the name of Phyllis Reed. She was a nice girl. Yeah. And then they shipped me from there to Goose Bay, Labrador.
Yeah, I have
That's the
pictures of that.
asshole. That's the asshole of creation. you
Yeah,
know?
I know. That's-
Yeah.
Not Biloxi, Mississippi?
Oh, Biloxi, Mississippi. Well, that was kind of not too bad. But
Okay.
when I was down there in 43, in 1943 to 44, in Biloxi, my brother and I had a pass, a weekend pass, to go to Biloxi and Mississippi, and what's the next?
That's when you came
Across
home.
the river from there.
Gulfport?
Gulfport, Mississippi, and then well, anyway, we went into Biloxi, Mississippi, from the base, you know, and it was a Sunday afternoon, and the sidewalks were all rolled up,
Yeah.
and we went. There was a restaurant across the street, and we went over there, and there was a nice big sign about this big, see, on the front door of the restaurant. We were hungrier than hell, you know. About the middle of the afternoon. No dogs, no soldiers, and no niggers allowed.
Wow.
It was right on the front door.
Oh, that must have upset you.
Well, what are you going to do? No, we just turned around, and there was a guy selling watermelons down the street.
Oh, okay.
So we bought a watermelon, and that was our lunch. Yeah, that was in World War II. Yeah.
Wow.
I remember them telling me that when they
Yeah.
come home.
Boy. Tell me, I never heard the whole story about you and Dad getting busted for taking a motor and sticking it in a boat and going up Muskrat Falls in Goose Bay. You were promised stateside furlough and you didn't get it?
Coochie from Wisconsin, he stole a Jeep motor and put it in a boat that he bought from the Indians up there.
Uh-huh.
And we went up that river there, the Hamilton River, up to the falls. Yeah, yeah. That was a good time. Jesus Christ, you'd catch pike this long. And make steak out of them. You know, big,
Yeah.
big steaks. Yeah, we'd fry them. One night we were frying up a bunch of them, and we made the frying. We worked in the sheet metal shop. We had a frying pan about that big around and about that deep, and we stole some.
Microphone is gonna pick him up.
We stole some lard out of the mess hall, you know, and we chopped these steaks up and pike, northern pike steaks. Old Coochie had. Yeah.
Would you like some soft drink of some kind?
Sure, but only if you're gonna have one.
Somewhat.
Sure, I'll join you in one.
Sure, what do you have?
I got some tea, iced tea. Would you like some iced tea?
Sure. Okay. So. All right. So I have a couple questions for you, and then we're all done. So, what do you like best about becoming 100 years old?
Oh, well, I think it's a wonderful world and all that. I like families when they stay together.
Yeah.
Should try to get We never had divorces in our family, did we? You did not have a divorce, did you?
My first marriage, yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
He had one divorce.
Yeah, but that's all forgot.
But there were no children.
No.
No, there were no
The
children.
first one's always a trial run, right? No, I'm just kidding.
Well,
I'm kidding.
let's say it was a mistake.
Yeah.
No, I've had a nice life. I worked hard, but I always did like to work, so that doesn't matter to me.
What do you like? What do you like least about being 100 years old?
Do I like what?
What don't you like about being 100 years old?
What don't I like? Not being able to get around.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. And I try to make the best of it. I never was hard to satisfy. It doesn't make any difference to me.
Yeah.
I've never really had anything seriously wrong with me. I thank God. I've been lucky.
That's good.
I didn't have any diseases like cancer or anything.
Yeah.
I have both breasts. That's all I can say. I had my ups and downs,
Yeah.
but they weren't too bad. I'm thankful for what I had. Very thankful for what I had.
If there was some advice that you could pass on to your descendants,
How many, what?
if there is some advice, if there is something that you would tell your descendants,
Advice, well,
what would you tell people that are long down the road? So,
young people should make the best of it. When they get married, you can't always have what you want. Try to get along. Sometimes it's very hard. Can't tell anybody what to do, not even your own children. You can't, you shouldn't.
yeah.
When they get of age, you should leave them alone. Yeah.
Let them run their own course.
I was just lucky. Joe died too early. We miss him. We miss the family very much. And I'm happy that you came. I'm very happy that you came.
Thank you. So am I. This is
Your dad came to see me. Anyway, that
Yeah.
meant a lot to me.
Means a lot to me too.
Yeah.
I'm very glad we could come.
He used to stop quite often, but he said he don't have the truck anymore. He can't stop. Yeah.
Well, I'll have to see if I can visit again without having to do an interview, just to stop
Oh
by and
yeah,
say hi.
stop.
So-
Just stop, and I'm glad to have met you.